It's time. It's time to clean out the past, pack up the present, and prepare for a much better future. Welcome to the Worldwide Women Speakers Online Women's Conference. I'm your host, R.J. Jackson, the Courage Giver. We have inspirational, transformational time prepared just for you. It's time. It's time to move. The Worldwide Women Speakers Dream Team is prepared to influence, empower, and impact your life to move on and be all that God has created you to be. Whether that's in your business, in your personal life, in your professional life, in your family, or in your community, it's time to live life on purpose. We're going to give you the steps needed to move forward. The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you're not going to stay where you are, that it is time to move. The second step is to stop waiting. Stop waiting for Friday. Stop waiting for the summer. Stop waiting for the fall. Stop waiting for the winter. Stop waiting until you get more money. Stop waiting until someone says they believe in you. Stop waiting. Now is the time to move on and subtract everything that does not add up to your purpose. Besides, God has a purpose for your life. You're not an accident. Your life has meaning. The world is waiting for you to show up. So let's go ahead and dive into our inspiration that will cause transformation, presented by the Worldwide Women Speakers Dream Team.
Worldwide Women Speakers. We coach, speak, and train on purpose. Connect with us today at worldwidewomenspeakers.com.
Let's welcome mindset maven and emotional wellness specialist, Athena Blue. Athena is an advocate for helping women overcome their fears to move past their negative experiences. Athena, thank you for being here to share your story of courage to help us to move on and subtract everything that does not add up to our purpose.
Thank you, RJ, and I just want to say it's so nice to be here, and it's so nice to have all of, to speak to our friends and family out there who's listening to us out there in our audience. And I just want to share with you from my heart of how I was able to move on from a place when I was kind of stuck. And I hope the sharing of my story can help you move from your place of being stuck.
So you, like everybody, because sometimes as women we think, don't nobody understand, it's just me. But from what I heard you say, you've been there and done that and needed to decide that you were moving on. So tell us about a time during your journey where you said, I'm moving on, subtracting everything that's not adding up.
Yes. Well, mine is very recent. As I shared before, a few times before, that my husband recently died a couple of years ago, and that left a big void in my life. And it was like a big hole, and I just didn't know what to do. And for sure, emotionally, I wasn't ready to move on. I still wanted some pieces of him left in my life, but I knew I couldn't do that. There are so many things that need to be done after he passed on, like removing his name from my joint accounts, having to refinance our home and put it under my name. Oh, those things just hurt so bad just to do that. It was like I was erasing his presence from my life. Even though I know he was gone, it was still like I was erasing him from my life, and that really, really bothered me. And, there was one more thing I had left that was in both his name and my name. That was our car. And my intent was not to ever, ever get rid of that car. It was like the last little thing that we purchased together and our name was on it. But as God would have it, sometimes, he moves us even though we may not want to move ourselves. So a couple months ago, 3 things happened back to that car that let me know that I had to get rid of it. I did not want to get rid of it, but after those 3 events happened, I had to get rid of my car. And I had to purchase a new car under my name. So now everything that had anything to do with he and I was now gone. And I'm now starting this journey of it being just my chapter without him. And that's a tough thing, because I didn't want to do that. But sometimes, you need a little nudge, and God kind of worked it out where I just had to get past that, and I'm moving on. One of the things I found out that I had to do once I moved on was, what am I going to do with myself? Okay, I know soon I'll be near retirement age. And being a nurse for 30 years doesn't leave you a whole lot of money to retire off of. I had to decide what I want to do. So I decided how much money I want to retire off of. And just so happened, I was able to meet and get in touch with and befriend a financial planner. This person's working with me. He's got all my information. And he said, well, how much do you want on a monthly basis to retire? And I gave him the figure, and he looked at me really strange. He said, well, Athena, but you don't have that. You can't retire off of that. I said, you know what? You're absolutely right. But you're looking at where I am now. I'm looking at where I will be when I retire. And he still looked at me like I was crazy, like he didn't quite understand. But I was looking at the future, and he was just looking at right now. So after I made my figure of how much I want to retire off of, now I have to make a plan of how I'm going to get it. Okay? So God has put lots of people in my life, people who help me to develop talents and gifts that I have, that I can now try to go out there and help other women and girls who are in the same situation. And, hey, I can also make a living off of that. So this is where I'm at. This is the track that I'm on. And I have just been so impressed with how God has just been moving things in my life. Once I decided, okay, I'm going to move on. I can't keep staying and remaining in the past and clinging to something that is gone. I will always have the memories of my husband, but I must move forward. Even him, I know he would want me to move forward and not just be in a bad place, just reminiscing sadly over his memory and what was lost. Because I know right now he's a happier place, and one day again we will meet again. So I am moving on, working on my finances, working on my career, what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, and purposing to do the best and be the best not only for myself, but to help other people along the process. So this is what I had to sort out in my mind once I got on that path of moving. And I must admit, God had to give me a little nudge to make me start moving. But once I got to moving, I'm purposely continually to move.
It hurts to let go. But sometimes it hurts more to hold on.
Yes.
You shared that your husband would want you to move on, and it sounds like you moved on realizing that that was a chapter in your life, but you don't have to close the book. You're simply turning the pages.
Exactly. It's a new chapter. I'm turning the pages, but that book is still there. The book is open.
Mm-hmm. What did you learn from your experience of holding on when it was maybe time to let go, or even just letting go? What lessons did you learn that we could learn with you?
Well, I learned that staying still or staying stagnant can make can make a person complacent. And we become comfortable in our complacency or in our rut because we feel that's all we'll have, and why reach for more because this is where we are. And we become comfortable feeling and being in this familiar rut, if you will. Sometimes we become whiny and complaining about it. You know, we complain about a circumstance to other people who are, in effect, doing the very same thing we are. They're comfortable in their rut. We're comfortable in ours, and we complain to each other about being in our rut. But that doesn't help anything. We're only feeding off one another's misery instead of rising above it and taking positive action. I've learned it's going to take time to bring my dream into reality. It first starts in your mind, where all great things begin. Then, you know, like as you water that vision that you have in your brain and start watching it grow and nourish it, then you can see it take shape, and then you can start seeing the possibilities of what can be if you would just step out of your comfort zone. And that's what I had to do. I had to step out of my comfort zone, which was the hardest thing to do. And I learned that it can be scary to step out of your comfort zone because complacency can breed a false sense of security. It's a sense of security that's born from familiarity. You know, anything outside the familiar is unknown and scary. So we fear moving into that space that's unknown because we don't know it, and it makes us uncomfortable. But if we can be bold enough to face our fears and step out on faith anyhow, we just might find that a whole new space opens up to us that's exciting. And have we not taken that space, that chance to step out, we'd never know what could be. So those are some of the things I learned when I had to come to that decision that I had to move. When I look back, I learned that I was complacent. I was comfortable in it. I learned that it's going to take time to bring my dream into reality. And I had to step out of that comfort zone because I was in a false sense of security with that complacency.
Life begins at the end of our comfort zone. And if we want something that we've never had, then we've got to be willing to do something we've never done.
Absolutely.
It's up to us. One step at a time. So you learned that we have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to have faith and trust God to do that. And those are the lessons you want us to learn as well. So let me go back to something you said that was very important as we learned those lessons. It's not easy. It's scary.
It is.
If we want to conquer our fears, we can't sit home and think about them. We got to go out and do something about it. So what's a step that we as women can take to help us move on and subtract everything that's not adding up to our purpose, even when it's scary?
Well, you got to get your mindset right, and that's what I had to work on first and foremost, because that mindset, if it's kind of negative, it's going to hold you back. No matter how much intent you have or intention you have to do something, it can really hold you back. I'm going to tell you, you know, I had an anxiety attack one time that I was intending to go to an event, but that anxiety stepped in and it held me back. I was just so afraid I couldn't even get out the house. And that's what anxiety and fear can do. I had to work on my mindset, read the Bible. I had to read some encouraging chapters. I had to, I started saying affirmations. I just had to look at myself and say some empowering words to myself. I had to speak power to myself so that I got over that. I even listened to, positive music that would help, change, just healing music. I had to listen to that. So getting that mindset is key, because it all begins right there between your ears. That's where it all begins. And then another thing, you got to have that vision. You know, get the mindset right, and then start dreaming. Start dreaming big. You know, you don't have to hold yourself back, because you're dreaming. It's your dream. It's your vision. It could be whatever you want it to be. How do you see yourself? What do you want to do? How much money do you want to have? Where do you want to go? What kind of impact do you want to have on your community? Dream and dream big. And then write it all down. Like, I started a journal of my big dreams and plans for the future. Here, when you write down, just like when you start dreaming, you just be open and honest with yourself, put down everything you want to do. It doesn't matter how prosperous you think it'll be, because it's your dream, and you're allowed to dream big. And you never know how far you're going to go. Just keep that mind open to the possibilities. Keep it open. Keep your mind open to the possibilities. Write it down, because writing it down helps it to kind of cement itself in your brain, let's say your subconscious mind, so that it can start working on it and making your dreams a reality. So these are some of the things that I can tell women that I did that helps me to focus to keep moving forward. Getting that mindset right, dreaming big, and writing it down. Those are three things I can talk to women about to keep themselves encouraged.
And life is only as good as our mindset. So dream, yes, girl, dream.
Dream on.
Write the dream down. Yes, write it down so you won't forget it. So dream you can on. Do it. Mm-hmm. Right? Dream on. Athena, what inspiring words you've given us today to move on, to get unstuck, and to subtract everything that does not add up to our purpose. Leave us with a word of encouragement to help us muster up the courage to get up and move, whether that's to write the book, to leave the relationship, to start a new job, to do our own business, to go back to school. Somebody needs to move. What would you say to them today?
Well, I'd say moving on involves letting go of the past, whether it be painful situations, lost loves, tragic breakups, whatever. And sometimes it's really hard to let go because it's all that we've ever known. We fear sometimes starting over because that would be something totally new and unknown, because we've been wrapped up in that false sense of security called familiarity. But I can tell you this, leave you this with a quote from Deepak Chopra. He says, "In the process of letting go, you will lose many things from the past, but you will find yourself." So ladies and my friends, don't be afraid to lose. Be grateful, excited, and anticipatory that you will finally find yourself. Don't be afraid to lose, because what you gain in the end will be you.
Ladies, do you feel older, drained, and frazzled with no energy left at the end of the day? For years, Athena Blue struggled with these very same issues. Through her own healing journey, she discovered healthy ways to not only look and feel younger, but regained her zest for life. Schedule your free Energy Boost session with Athena right now and learn the #1 thing you can do now to turn your life around. Call Athena today at 877-235-0373. Again, that's 877-235-0373. Extension 907.
We want to move, we need to move, but the truth is we're afraid to move. Fear has paralyzed us. Athena, thank you for reminding us that we can get past the past. Even though we'll never get over it, we can get through it. It's time. It's time to clean out the past, pack up the present, and prepare for a much better future.
Whether you are looking to encourage, educate, inspire, or motivate, hiring a worldwide women's speaker is the perfect way to wow your audience. With such a wide range of talented speakers to choose from, finding the right person can be a bit challenging. That's why we are here to help you. We have the right speaker for your conference, training, and women's event. Contact us today at worldwidewomenspeakers.com. That's www.worldwidewomenspeakers.com.
Our next inspirational leader, Jessaca Rowe, knows about moving on. As the author of A New Level Mindset, an aspiring entrepreneur rising out of fear into greatness, is a cheerleader to help those who are stuck and need to move on. Let's welcome Jessaca. Jessaca, thank you for being here to share your story of strength and courage in overcoming fear and doubt to move on.
Hello, ladies. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. And we're looking forward to giving you a word of encouragement and motivation so you can move forward in strength and empowerment.
I love that, Jessica. Yes, motivation to move, because sometimes we feel stuck, like we cannot move. It's like we just ate a huge meal and we just weighed down. But the reality is, it's not the meal we ate. It's the choices we make. Mm-hmm. It's the activities that we get involved in. It's the relationships that we're in. And we are stuck. So, do you know anything about that? Have you ever been stuck and know you needed to move, but just like, couldn't? And perhaps finally found the strength and the courage to get up and move?
Yes, I have been stuck, and one of my ways of being stuck is at my job. As I'm older, I'm 42, and growing up, it was just basically go to work, go to school, go to work, stay on your job for as long as you can, retire, and, have your family, and you'll be good, you'll be okay. But, other than that, yeah, we have to work. We all have to work. But deep down, many of us have goals. We have dreams. We have ideas and things we want to do outside of our jobs. And we feel sometimes stuck because we don't want to go against the norm. We don't want to go against what society says, or perhaps go against what family has said, because we feel or think that our family is going to treat us a different way or look at us a certain way. So we say, oh, no, I'm going to just sit here. I'm going to go back and forth to work, even though I have some things deep down inside I would like to do to make an impact on people, or to help the community, or help people that I see in need. I'm not going to do that because that's not the norm. So I'm just going to stay here and continue to feel stuck. So with me, I'm going to say back in about 2014, when I realized that there's more to life than just working a job, and then when I realized that I do have gifts, talents, and skills, and that I can put those gifts, talents, and skills to use and build my own business, become an entrepreneur, at that, and like I said, as 2014, I'm in shock. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. No, I have to work. I have to keep working. I have a family. I can't afford to do anything great like that. I can't afford to go outside, go against the grain. And once I start realizing that and start reading about entrepreneurship and the joys of owning a business, not saying it's easy, but the rewards, I should say, of owning a business, I really started to research. I really started to look into things and read articles and look at social media influencers and look at the things that they had to go through. And just say like, wow, I can do this. So I don't want to feel stuck at my job anymore. What is it that I need to do to start working on my goals, to start pulling out my gifts, talents, and skills? So, yeah, I felt stuck, but I'm in the process of getting myself unstuck.
So you're stuck on your job. What does that look like? Like, how do we know we're literally stuck on the job? I mean, hey, you said it. We need the money. So what are some feelings and thoughts and experiences that you had that let you know you were stuck and it was really time to move on?
One thing for me is traffic, the commute. Every day, 45 minutes to an hour. Sometimes there's accidents, there's road closures, and at some point you get tired of that. I got tired of that. I got tired of sitting in traffic. Another thing is going to the same desk, doing the same things, repetition over and over again. The people at my job, they're nice. They're cool. I get along with them very well. It's just that sitting at a desk, sitting at a cubicle for the rest of my life, when I know that there is more out there, there are other things that I can do to create income other than to just depend on a paycheck every 2 weeks at a certain cap. Nothing that can grow, because with the layoffs and, jobs cutting people hours and things of that nature, things change. And so my money will change. So if I'm able to go outside of my job and create an income for as much as I want to have at any time in any place, and no one telling me how much I can make, how much I can't make, I'm not restricted to, oh, well, we can't give you these days off. You can't have this time off. Or, just other little restrictions, like for me, just feeling like I'm caged, that I'm just stuck here. And like I said, by me knowing that there is greater out there, there is better out there, there are other ways to make money than living paycheck to paycheck, I'm like, okay, let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's research it. Let's see, if this is something that I can do. So, that's my way of feeling stuck at my job.
So let me get this straight, because I think I heard you say there were a lot of things about the job that you said no more. Like, I'm done. This isn't working with my purpose. My time is precious. I'm not going to be sitting on the freeway, just sitting here when I could be doing something I love. But you also felt like it wasn't easy. Like, did I hear you say that? Like, okay, I know this is not going to be easy.
Right. I did. Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Yes,
I did. So how did you get from that point of, I can't do this anymore, like, but what am I going to do to forget this? I'm out of here. Like, what did it take for you to just finally say, I am moving on?
Well, it was just, like I said, just not being able to have the time off that I need, or time off that I wanted, maybe to spend time with my husband or my kids, or maybe I had to, go to a doctor's appointment in the middle of the week for my children, and asking somebody else for permission to do that. And also, too, being afraid, like, oh, my goodness, if I ask for this time off, they may turn it down. And it may be time that I need, and really looking at vacation time and sick time. Oh, you're out of vacation time. Oh, you don't have enough sick time. We can't grant you that. So that, like I said, is part of, being controlled in a controlled environment, which I thought, or which, that's how I see it. That was just the last straw. So it's like I have to do something different. I have to do something as to where that I am available, that I'm free to take care of my family, to take care of my mother. She's getting up in age. I may need to take her to run errands and, things of that nature. And I don't want to say I can't because I can't get the time off from my job. So that was just the final straw.
They say sometimes we have to let go of what's killing us, even if it's killing us, to let go. And that takes courage to do. So, Jessica, you used your courage and you said, I'm out of here. I am moving on, or subtracting everything from my life that's keeping me from living my life on purpose. I know you said that was a little difficult. What did you learn in the process while putting one foot in front of the other to make that move?
I learned that it was possible, and that if I got out of my feelings and limited beliefs, as like I said before, with the norms of what society says, I found that it was possible, that I was able to do it. It's like you said, putting your one foot forward, one step at a time. There were times where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. This is difficult. This is hard. But I had to continue to think of the why. Why did I want to be unstuck? Why did I want to be free? And like I said, there was a whole bunch of reasons why, and that why had to be so strong and so important that anytime I felt that as if I wasn't going to make it, I looked back at my why again.
Your why, and that's your purpose. And making up our mind to move on, well, honestly, that's easy. It's convincing our heart that we need to move on is the hardest part. And part of convincing our heart is knowing just what you said, knowing our why. So you did it. You said, no more 9 to 5. I have purpose, I have value, I have gifts and talents. I'm going to tap into those, and I'm going to go out and give the world my greatness. What has it been like for you since you did that?
It's been a roller coaster. It's up and down. It's fun. You're screaming and you're yelling, but then you're excited. So it's been great, being able to do what it is that I need to do without permission from somebody, and doing what I want to do without permission from a supervisor or a boss or, anything of that nature. So it's a great feeling to be free, to be making decisions about the life that you want to live, about the impact that you want to make in, other people's lives, and actually getting to speak to people and talk to people and help people move forward and help them get unstuck as well.
Oh, girl, listen to you being all authentic on us. I love it. I love it. People think like, oh, my gosh, you're an entrepreneur. You own your own business. Girl, you must got it going on. But you said, wait, hold up, wait a minute. Let's put some truth in it. Oh, no, honey, I cry. I scream, I holler, I yell. But regardless, I'm moving on. I'm still not stuck. I'm free. I don't have to ask anyone for permission. And so what you just said was, look, yes, I cry, but I moved on. Because I'm letting my tears water the seeds of my future success. And, girl, I'm not even mad at you. I absolutely love it. Jessica, what can we learn from your story of knowing we're stuck, but finding the courage to let go and subtract everything that's keeping us from living life on purpose? What do you want us to learn from your story?
Well, from my story, you can learn that the confidence has to be there. I had to develop that confidence. If I know I wanted to be free, you have to get the confidence going, because that's the only way that I was able to, really push forward, is continuously build up my build up my confidence. Even when times got tough, I had to go back and, hey, snap out of it, get your confidence going. You're trying to get yourself free. So building your confidence is something that you can learn from my story, and also do some research on confidence. There's a lot of stories and articles and things about people who have built their confidence up so they're able to move forward with their passion and their purpose.
Confidence. It takes us a long way. It helps us to move on purpose. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much for that information that causes transformation and helps us to move. No longer standing still and standing in a place that's killing us, where we're dying to live. Because as I always say, we don't have to live where we're dying, and we don't have to die where we're living. We can, just like you, Jessica, we can find the courage to move. Leave us with a word of courage to help us move, because sometimes it's easier said than done, but that courage and inspiration really gets underneath of us and moves us to the next level.
Well, I just want to tell you all, just know that the confidence to get unstuck, it starts within. It has to start within yourself. You can read all the cute memes on social media. You can look at documentaries, movies, and, you can still read those articles, but you have to have that confidence within yourself to say, hey, it's time to get unstuck.
It starts within. So it's time. The first step to take is to look within, because that's where it starts.
Do you have a dream in your heart that you desire to see come to pass? Are you an aspiring entrepreneur? If so, then this is your season. Author and inspirational speaker Jessica Rowe has made it her mission to help aspiring entrepreneurs turn their ideas into action by providing helpful strategies to achieve their goals of full-time entrepreneurs. If you're ready to break out of your shell and shine, let Jessica Rowe help you discover a new level mindset. Contact Jessica at 877-235-0373, extension 913.
It's time to get unstuck. And thank you, Jessica, for the powerful reminder and the assurance that it's not too late and we can move.
Worldwide Women Speakers. We coach, speak, and train on purpose. Connect with us today at worldwidewomenspeakers.com.
And now, holistic transformational coach Tomika Haynes graces us with her passion to help women overcome past trauma and pain, to find healing, and to renew their souls. Let's welcome Tomika as she shares her story to help you establish your faith, increase your virtue, and help you to live your life on purpose.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy and grateful to be back together to inspire you and motivate you and talk about this process of moving on into your purpose.
There's nothing like women coming together to uplift one another, hold each other accountable, and remind each other of their greatness. And it's always a pleasure, Tomika, when you join us here at Worldwide Women Speaker, to hear your story, to be inspired by you, to help us to be all that God has created us to be. So as we talk about moving on and having that attitude that finally in life, after being sick and tired of being sick and tired, we finally said, that's it. I'm done. I'm moving on, subtracting everything that doesn't add up to my purpose. Have you ever come to that point in your life that you knew what you were doing, the decisions you were making, the relationships you were involved in were not the healthy ones to help you fulfill the purpose for you being here, and you had to say, perhaps not just to yourself, but out loud, I'm done. I'm moving on.
Yes, definitely. Many times I've been in that spot. For me, it showed up in a relationship. At the time, there was a lot going on in the relationship. Just there was no peace. And I believe where there's no peace, we need to take a look at that, because it definitely brings more chaos and less order to the rest of our lives, and that can cause stagnation and keep us from moving into our purpose. So I had to let some relationships go. I ended a engagement, a 2-year engagement. I decided that it was time to let that go and not be constantly struggling with that and not be constantly struggling with making it work. I decided that it was time to let me focus on me and him focus on him, and we just both focus on what it is we needed to do. And after that, of course, came pain. When you've been with someone for a while, it can be pretty painful to, separate yourself from them. It's, someone you love. It wasn't an abusive relationship or anything like that. So it was really hard to let that go. So I gave myself time after that to process the pain that I was going through behind having to let that go. And that was the important step in moving forward more and advancing into my purpose, because it gave me time to process the feelings I was having, to process what happened, to even gain more clarity about, how God was going to use what I was going through and what I had been through in my purpose. Because pain usually leads to more purpose. There's always a lesson in it. There's always something that you're experiencing, that we experience, that we can use to help other people. So I processed my pain, and during that, I gained more clarity on which direction I was supposed to go in. My thoughts got a little bit more clear. I had time to breathe and think. So that definitely helped me in moving forward and gaining clarity and also strength to do what it is I'm called to do.
I want to just ask you a couple of questions. Now, it's true, things work out for the best for those who make the best of things to work out. You said, I decided to stop trying to make it work. And we, especially as women, are always told, make it work, make it work. At what point do we decide, I'm not going to try and make it work any longer? And when you made that decision, my second question is, what about what people think? I mean, girl, you were engaged. Didn't you go through that, well, what are people going to think mode? And what was that like for you?
Yes, I definitely went through that, and that's probably why I held on for so long amongst other things that were going on. You always want to be there to support people. So, there was a lot going on in his life as well, so I didn't want to end it at that time because I was afraid of what people would think. But when there is no peace, you just can't function in that. And that's what made me decide that it was time to move forward. It was hard because, like you said, I was thinking about, oh, gosh, we've been engaged and been together for a number of years. What are people going to think if we split right now? What are they going to think of me if I, for breaking off the engagement right now when there's so much going on? But you have to think of yourself sometimes. Self-care is not selfish. If something is just not providing any peace at all, if there's almost always turmoil, then you have to evaluate that. You always have to evaluate these things and figure out, okay, is this something that I need to let go of? And also keep in mind that, God just might be saying not right now. It doesn't necessarily mean no. It just might mean not right now. So you have to think about that and, and let those type of things go that are keeping you from having peace and a sane mind and keeping your emotions together.
If it costs you your peace of mind, the price is definitely too high. Yes, it's true. People will have their opinion of you and what they think you should or should not do. But at the end of the day, Tomika just reminded us, peace of mind is what it's all about. There are some women right now, there's somebody right now who is struggling. They have no peace. They're about to lose their mind, but they're in a situation and they feel stuck. They want to move. They're afraid to move. They don't know what to do. Encourage their heart.
I would say when we're in situations where we feel totally stuck, I think it calls for a time of radical obedience. Is what I call it. When you're feeling stuck like that and you think, I just don't know what to do, you're going to have to do something totally unexpected and totally radical, as I call it. You're going to have to do something that you don't want to do at a time when you don't want to do it, because that's what's going to, get you unstuck and unclog all that stagnation. It's going to help you to open up the channels of energy. And like I said, you'll be able to breathe. So just jump. I know we hear that a lot, but whatever the situation is, you have to make a decision on whether you're going to move forward or stay where you are. We have to keep ourselves in mind. I think a lot of the time, and I know especially for me, we like to put ourselves and what we're feeling on the back burner, so we don't make a move. We're thinking about everyone else first, and we're staying in the same place while we're instead of moving the puzzle pieces for everyone else forward. You have to think of yourself first. Sometimes it's not selfish to do that because your biggest project is you. You're the person that God cares about the most, and you can't help anyone else if you're stuck in a roller coaster of, negative emotions and pain and worry and stress and doubt. So make a decision to do one thing for yourself. Even if it's something small as in, I'm not talking to nobody this weekend. I'm going off by myself. I'm making arrangements for the kids and my husband, whoever else. And I'm going to go and take this time to be with me so I can figure out what I really need to do to move forward.
It's time for a revolution, and that simply means, as Tomika just said, a radical change. Girl, it's time to move on. Your peace of mind is worth it. You are worth it. It's time to move and subtract everything, I said it, everything that's not adding up to your purpose. You can pack, and we can help.
When it comes to your health and well-being, you should never take a one-size-fits-all approach. Life affects your health, and your health affects your life. If you've been dealing with unresolved health concerns or life issues, it's time to take a holistic approach. As a certified holistic practitioner and life coach, Tomika Haynes is committed to getting to the root of the problem. Schedule a free 25-minute consultation with Tomika by calling 877-235-0373. Again, that's 877-235-0373, extension 910.
Tomika, thanks for helping us move, because it's time to move on and subtract everything that doesn't add up to our purpose.
Worldwide Women Speakers. We coach, speak, and train on purpose. Connect with us today at worldwidewomenspeakers.com.
Well, here we go again. What a great opportunity to speak life into people's lives and remind them they don't have to live where they're dying, and they certainly don't have to die where they're living. If you need to move, girl, put your shoes on and move. Subtract everything that doesn't add up to your purpose. Sometimes when we want to move, we just kind of, especially as women, want someone to move with us because we feel alone. Well, Venus Chandler has dedicated and devoted her life to helping women just like you change yours by helping you realize you are not alone on the road to becoming your best self. And as you move, be moved today by the words and the story of Venus Chandler, author, speaker, and survivor. Venus, thank you for your courage to share your story of moving on, subtracting everything that doesn't add up to your purpose, and helping us as women do the same.
Thank you, Ms. RJ. Thank you for having me, and thank you, ladies, for just tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world listening to anything else, and I'm so glad you tuned in to get this nugget today.
So let's go ahead and give it to them. Venus, our theme this month is I'm moving on. I'm subtracting everything that doesn't add up to my purpose. Have you ever found yourself in a situation that you needed to, wanted to, perhaps was even afraid to, but finally made up your mind that it was time and you said, I'm moving on, subtracting everything that doesn't add up to my purpose?
Absolutely. I got to say that for majority of my life, that's the way I lived. Just sort of kind of sitting there and taking it from everybody. And I had just decided that no more. Anything and everything, no matter what it was, no matter who it was, if it was something that was negative and didn't build me up or was positive, to me, I got rid of it. It didn't matter who it was. I got rid of even a very high-paying job because it did not pour into me. It was a negative. So, yeah.
So tell us about a time where you just finally packed up the past, the pain, and said, I'm out.
I got to say it was probably when I wrote my book. And I had decided at that point that no more. I didn't want to carry this stuff, around with me forever and ever anymore. I wanted it to be about me for a change. I wanted to put me first for a change. And I just said, that's it. today, it starts not in today, but in this moment. It starts right now. And that's what I did. I sort of kind of packaged up all of that stuff, and I evicted it is what I did. I evicted it. I put it out, and I started new. Before I wrote my book, everything in my life was about everybody else. It was about pleasing everybody else. It was about making sure everybody else was okay, and I didn't even stop to even think about Venus. I didn't even stop to think about what it is that was good for me, what I wanted, what was going to make me happy or build me up. And I can remember the day that I said that I wanted to live and not die. You know, prior to that, I had went through, a painful divorce, and I wanted to die, and I sort of kind of just shut down, and I actually laid in that bed and waited to die. But when I said no more, it was crazy. I got up on that day, and I was like, this is it in this moment. It's about me. It's about me, and I had decided to just start writing. That's what I did. And when I started writing, it was because I wanted to purge myself of all that stuff. I didn't want to carry it around anymore. I wanted my life to be about me. I wanted to move forward. I didn't want to stay stagnant,
So what lessons did you learn during that part of your journey that we can learn from in our journey right now?
Ladies, set boundaries. And when I say set boundaries are not to make other people change. Boundaries is just there to tell people that this is who I am, this is where I stand, these are the things I will not accept. And you have to let people know that if you cross those boundaries, then I'm going to have to put something into action. I'm going to have to tell you that I'm going to have to remove myself, or we can't be friends, or whatever the case may be. So that, I believe, is the number one thing, is to make sure that you have boundaries. As a little girl growing up, so many horrible things happened to me, so I didn't understand what boundaries were. I didn't even have any. All throughout my whole life, I never, ever had boundaries. So people was allowed to come in and just do whatever they wanted to do to me, say whatever they wanted to say to me, and I didn't understand. And then when I started learning about boundaries, I learned that it's very, very important. It's almost like an invisible fence. It protects you. It protects you. So that's the one thing that I would say to start with.
Set boundaries. In other words, say, this is where I draw the line.
Absolutely.
And when we draw the line, it says to us, this is what I'm worth, and this is how I will be treated. Setting boundaries is about having the courage to love ourselves, even when we risk disappointing others. Set boundaries.
Absolutely.
Was there another lesson perhaps that you learned that you'd like to share with us?
Well, yeah, another thing is that you really need to find out who you are. Because before you can move forward, before you can say, I'm moving on, you have to learn who self is. You have to. It's very, very important. See, we don't even understand that we live with this stranger who is ourselves for so many, many, many years. And we know about everybody else. We know who that person is and who that person is and their likes and their dislikes. But when we even think about who, like when I started trying to think about who is Venus, I always thought Venus was this one person. She loves fashion, and she's a mom, and she's a nurse, and blah, blah, blah. But then when I said it was time for me to move on, I'm moving on, and I started learning who I am, it shocked me. I mean, it really, really shocked me to find out that the person I thought I was all these years That wasn't even me. That wasn't even me. That was a compilation of things that were, or thoughts and feelings from other people who made me that person. So I wasn't even my authentic self. But that's another lesson that I learned.
Great lesson. Know who you are, know what you want, know what you deserve, and don't settle for less. Hey, as you're thinking about moving on, subtracting everything that doesn't add up to your purpose, always know that you're more than enough. You're precious, you're unique, you are worth being adored, cherished, and loved. Girl, you're treasured. It might just be time to pack up and move on, because there's more to life than meets your eye. Venus, encouraging words that will help us pack it up and move it on, because we're dying where we're living.
Well, Ms. RJ, ladies, look, it may sound a little cliche, but it's so true. We women, we're a community. We're one big, gigantic community. And we are so powerful, and we have so much power inside of us to be able to help the next woman. It's important that we reach out and connect to each other and help build each other up. The way that I was able to move on is I connected myself to other like-minded women who wanted to be able to win. So that's the most important thing. And I hope that this encourages you.
If we as a community don't step up to help each other, then who will? Alone, we can do a little, but together we can do much. We are a community, and here at Worldwide Women Speakers, we got your back. We'll help you pack, because it's time to move on and subtract everything that's keeping you from living life on purpose. The world awaits your greatness, girl. So let's go, and we'll help you get there.
Have you been victimized or traumatized? Do you wish someone would hear your silent scream, understand your story, or know your truth? Venus Chandler, survivor, author, and motivational speaker, hears, understands, and knows the truth about being victimized and traumatized. She has dedicated the rest of her life to helping women like you to find their voice and rediscover their hope, strength, courage, and their power within. If you are ready to regain your voice, connect with Venus today at www.venuschandler.com or info@venuschandler.com. Purchase Venus's book, A Silent Scream, My Story, My Truth, on Amazon, or contact her via email for a personal signed copy. Let your silent scream be heard.
You know, sometimes when we're trying to move, there are roadblocks in the way. Be encouraged today, my sister, because today Sharon Ann Marie is here to inspire us, as her mission is to help you discover the power you need to move. Sharon is a motivator, a mother, and the roadblock destroyer. As an empowerment specialist, she wants to help you use your voice and your strength to become all that God has created you to be. Sharon, we welcome you to share your story with us today as you tell us how to remove those roadblocks, to move on and subtract everything that's not adding up to our purpose. Well, be encouraged today, my sister, because today Sharon Ann Marie is here to inspire us, as her mission is to help you discover the power you need to move. Sharon is a motivator, a mother, and the roadblock destroyer. Sharon, we welcome you to share your story with us today as you tell us how to remove those roadblocks, to move on and subtract everything that's not adding up to our purpose.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, my beautiful queens. I hope you are all fantastic. I hope you are blessed and ready to receive my message today.
Because we know there's greatness in it, girl, and we've been waiting for it. So welcome. Thank you so much for being a part of Worldwide Women Speakers Dream Team. And let's just go ahead and dive in. This month, we're talking about moving. And like my grandson says, I like the way you move it. And we need to move it. So, Sharon, tell me, has there ever been a time in your life that you had to decide, look, I'm done, and I am packing up, and I am moving on, subtracting everything that does not add up to my purpose? And if so, tell us about that time.
Girl, ladies, queens, let me tell you, I thought I was in the best moment of my life. I had met this man that I believed was everything. We were together for 22 years, and it was all fake. Nothing was real. It was so, it was undeniable what I believed this world was, what we had created. We had the houses, we had the cars, we had all this, what you dreamed of, what you read about, what you see on TV, but it wasn't real because what I didn't have was my self-worth. What I didn't have was respect. I had things, but I didn't have me. I allowed myself, hear me, I allowed it, because nobody can do to you anything unless you allow it. And I allowed a man to dismantle me. I thought in my head that I was compromising, but what I didn't realize, I wasn't compromising. I was letting go and giving away my power. And when I realized, and let me tell you, when I realized I had 2 stress-induced heart attacks, a hysterectomy, my mom was sick, my dad was sick, my daughter was sick. It took all of that for me to realize that, you know what? You are not going to get any better if you stay in a situation like this. I wasn't happy. My kids weren't happy. Everything around me was attracting negativity. Everything around me was dying, from the leaves on the plants in my house to the grass that was outside, to me as Sharon, not knowing who I was, where I was going. I was dying, literally. And I remember saying to God, listen, you get me through this, you get me standing, and I will make the right choice, because there is no respect and there is no self-worth. And Lord knows, without respect and self-love, without respect of yourself, there is no reason to be in any type of situation. So I packed my children, I packed my clothes, and I left. And the minute I walked through that door, I became empowered. I realized my self-worth was worth more than what I was thinking I could be with. I stayed in it because that's what I thought was best for everybody, but that wasn't what was best for me. So it was time to move on to bigger and better things that God had planned for me. You understand that, Miss RJ? You hear me, Queen? Time to move on.
I understand, girl. I'm hearing you. And what I'm hearing you say is respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or make you happy. Matter of fact, I hear you saying respect yourself enough to know that you deserve the best. And that's exactly what I heard you say. Is that not what you said, beautiful?
Yes, that is what I'm saying. You have to love yourself more than you love anybody, because nobody will love you how you love you unless you show them how much you love you. Understand that?
Yo entienda. I feel you, girl. I feel you.
Two snaps.
How did that make you feel, however, when you were packing up, when you realized I deserve better? Matter of fact, I deserve the best, But you had to give up what you were comfortable with, what you knew. Mm-hmm. How did that make you feel in the moment while you were going through that?
I am not going to lie. I was terrified. I was like, I have these 2 babies. I'm starting with nothing. I'm walking away, leaving 22 years of everything that I knew. But, and hear me, I learned at a very young age that fear and faith cannot live in the same place. I've always been taught that God already had this battle won for me. So I had to put all that fear that I had, all that nervousness I had, and I had to give it up to God and say, you know what? You got this. I'm good. I'm going to pack my clothes, and I'm not going to worry because I know you are going to take care of me as you've done for all of these years until that moment. So scared was I? Yes. But my faith overpowered and took everything away, all the fear, all that nervousness, all of that horrible feeling that I had, and it comforted me because I knew I was not alone, but I was with the army of God. So that's what saved me in that moment.
And, you know, most people are paralyzed by fear.
Yeah.
So what I hear you saying is you said my faith will overcome my fear, and I'm going to take charge of my life and my world. And you stopped being afraid of what could go wrong and decided to move on with what could go right.
That's right. That's right.
What can we learn from your experience, and what did you learn from your experience?
I learned, honestly, my queen, that I was a lot stronger than I realized. We as women so often are trained to be submissive, for a better word, you know, to do and to be nice, and you don't want to disappoint. And you, as you do all of these things, we get lost. And I learned that I am able to maintain who I am as a woman and still be with other people without losing who I am. And I that strength of having to start over, that strength of knowing I had these 2 little human beings who were staring at me and needed me to be strong and to show them that, hey, you can fall down, but we get back up. And it's the more times we get up, the more lessons we learn, the more we move forward with experience. And had I not done and moved on and lived for me and empowered myself, I would have never known the true purpose of my life and the true strength that I have as a woman, as a warrior, as an empowerer. And I came out of there just like, wow. I look back and think, what was I doing there for so long? Like, come on now, girl, you could have been president of the United States by now had I got out earlier. But now I know there is nothing that I cannot do. Queens, there is nothing that you cannot do. One step at a time, in front of the other, day by day. There is nothing that you can't accomplish. Believe me. Believe it. You hear me, Miss RJ?
I hear you, beautiful. And the one thing we as women want to make sure we don't do, because it's so easy for us to do, is have those regrets because of what we've done. And instead, let's look at them as experiences that created an opportunity for us to discover who we really are. And women, well, we're like tea bags. We can't tell how strong we really are until we've been through some hot water. And so if you're going through some hot water right now, sister, you're strong. Listen, there will be lots of details that will make you feel like you're unworthy, like it's your fault, you shouldn't have done this. But forget those details. Ask yourself, what lesson am I learning to make me stronger? Because like Sharon said, you are strong. Sharon, fill our cup with some words of encouragement and courage for us to leave with today as we sip on life.
Well, my beautiful queens, life is real, and it is going to hit you with some punches that are really going to hurt. and they're going to take the wind out of you. But if you raise up your head and know that you can do it. Is it going to be easy? Not at all. Reach out to people. Ask for help. Surround yourself with the people that are going to uplift you, not people who are going to hold you down and tell you you can't do it, that are going to get in your head. Surround yourself with people who have been there, like ourselves, the worldwide women speakers. Surround yourself with beautiful people and believe in yourself. Believe you can do it. It comes down to your mindset, what you believe you are, what you say you are, you are. You are a queen. You are a warrior. You are a child of God. There is nothing that you cannot do, one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time. If you fall flat, lay there for a minute, but don't stay there. Get back on your feet and keep moving forward because you've got this. Believe me when I say you've got this.
And it's now time for us to take action. So, Sharon, thank you as always for reminding us that we are strong and we got this.
When was the last time that you have been at the top of your to-do list? How many times have you silenced the small voice inside? Now is the time for a Simply New Me. Let empowerment specialist Sharon Ann Marie of simplyanewme.com help you to make what you thought impossible possible and to discover the true power of you. Contact Sharon at simplyanewme.com to purify your life.
For those moments that you want to move on, your feet are ready to go, but your mind says no, we bring to you today, to the stage of Worldwide Women Speakers, from the Worldwide Women Speakers Dream Team, Angela Denise. Through her past struggles and relationships, she has discovered how to train the mind to react to situations that keep her stuck. She now knows how to move on, and her desire is to help you move. Her passion is to transform your mind to be positive, to love yourself so that you can truly feel loved and appreciated. She's going to help us today move forward and move with a positive mindset. Her motto is, I'm standing strong. And today, no matter what you're going through, you too can stand strong. Join me in welcoming Law of Attraction coach, Angela Denise.
Thank you, ladies, for joining in. I know you could have been anywhere at this moment, but you joined in with us. So thank you so much for joining in and just listening to the word that we have today. I just want to say, girl, I am moving on, subtracting everything in my life that is not adding up to my purpose. And I want you to do the same thing. Have you ever been young, dumb, and in love? Did you do some crazy things and now wonder why? Girl, you are not alone. I've been there and done that. Oh, my goodness, have I. One night I was in the club while I was in college, and I met this handsome, charming guy. And the first night he told me that he was going to marry me. And, girl, guess what? He did. We got married, had kids. But one thing we failed to do was keep God first and reach out to older couples to help mentor us and just listen. We thought we had it all and just acted like we just knew everything and wasn't nothing going to go wrong because we were all in love and everything. So everything in the beginning was good. It was good until life got in the way and things started to run south. We soon moved from Virginia to Houston, and things took even a turn for the worse. We stopped communicating and finally separated after about 2 years. for about 2 years, we separated, and he started a new family. I became a single mom, and for those 2 years, we were just doing our own thing. Then one day he came back, and guess what? He said, I want my wife back. So I was like, okay, I'll listen, to that. I was like, I can give our marriage a second try. Okay. So we got back together after 2 years of being separated, but we were still not ready. We were still not mature enough for marriage. It needed a little bit more time. So we decided to go our own separate ways again. So it's been now 10 years, and we moved on and everything, and we did what we needed to do for ourselves internally. For myself, I focused on me. So some steps that I did was, what I didn't do in the beginning was keeping God first. Keep God first in your life. Another thing is, I learned how to control my emotions, because a lot of times as women, what do? We do not control our emotions. We let the emotions get the best of us. We can be angry, sad, glad, mad, or whatever, and we let all of that get the best of us, and we act crazy, do crazy things and everything. And then we turn back and look like, what in the world did I do that for? So another thing is what I did, I spoke positive. So just being positive in my life and not having anyone around me negative. I was my own biggest self-motivator, making sure that I really looked at myself, motivated myself, kept on moving forward, and made sure that I continued to be the best person that I could be in my life. And basically preparing myself to be a wife and be ready and be a mom and be a person and really define who I was. Because a lot of times what happens, we lose ourselves in a marriage. We lose ourselves in a relationship. So we have to kind of find ourselves again. And you can do the same thing, too. You can do the same thing. What I did, I started a business. I got done through all of that, went through some crazy stuff, got myself together. I started a business. I went back to school. I got my degrees. I even wrote a book. Oh, my goodness, all that information in my head, all of that, what I went through, being embarrassed to tell my story, I wrote a book. Girl, I put those keys to work on my laptop, and I wrote a book. I also started a radio show, podcast, and today what I'm doing is telling my story and my truth, and that's something that you can do as well, too. Tell your story. Tell your truth. Be the best person that you can be. Don't let all of that get into your way as far as your emotions. Many times as women, what do? Those emotions get the best of us. And I know I'm saying this over again, but ladies, we have to make sure that we control our emotions. If we're trying to escalate, if we're trying to elevate, and we're trying to move forward in our lives, this is one of the things we have to do, is make sure that we control those emotions. Get yourself together, girl. Get yourself together, because we have to make sure that we control those emotions. Don't go over there flashing those tires. Don't go over there busting no windows. Don't do none of that. Get yourself together. Get yourself together and let him handle his business and do what he got to do, because guess what? He going to do what he got to do regardless of what you're doing. So you make sure that you take care of yourself. So remember, like I said, you have to keep God first. Make sure that you keep God first, that you listen to your heart. Stop just doing whatever you want to do and then thinking about it later. I always say, think before you do, because you don't want to do, and then you come back and you look like, what in the world was I thinking? Don't do that. Think before you do. Make sure you develop a self-love for yourself, that you love yourself no matter what. that you love yourself no matter what. Because guess what? If you love yourself, then you're not sitting up there waiting for anybody else to love you. If you love yourself, then you can love someone else. If you love yourself, you feel so much better. You feel so happy because you're just loving who you are as a person. And that's the first thing, is to get grounded with yourself. Figure out who you are as a person. Make sure that you're loving yourself as a person. Making sure that you're building a life for yourself. And then we go into relationships and marriage and everything. Sometimes we want to do things backwards. Don't do it backwards. Don't be like I was. I did it backwards. Have your fun. Build yourself first. Then you go into the love and everything. Make sure to don't be angry. Do not get angry where it can get the best of you. Improve yourself. Stand up. Stand strong. And make sure that you be the best that you can be possible. I know sometimes we do things and we do it, and I don't know, we just feel like so bad after. And I know we've made mistakes, and I know we've been through some things and bad relationships, and we made bad choices within our career, and just everything is sometimes feel like it's just going wrong. I mean, in finances or whichever, you can make a change. You can make a difference right here, right now, today. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that I can make a change, that I can make a difference, that I can live within my purpose in life, my God-given purpose in life, that I can live that. I can be the best person that I can be. You can go out there and you can write a book. It's in you. Just start writing. Just start typing. And just to continue on each and every day. You can start a business. If it's a business that you've been thinking about for years and years and years, you can do it. No matter what you've gone through, no matter divorce, separation, whichever, no matter what, you can start your own business. You can write your own book. You can start your own radio show, your own podcast. You can go back to school and get your degree, even if you dropped out before because you wanted to get married and then you dropped out before. That's okay. That's okay. You can go back to school and you can do it. You can get your bachelor's degree, you can get your master's degree, you can get your doctorate degree, you can get any degree that you want to go back and get and obtain. You can do anything that you put your mind to, that vision that you had, that vision that's still there, that vision that sometimes you tuck away because you say, oh, no, I can't do that. Oh, no, because of the situation I was in. Oh, no, because of the mistakes that I made. No, you can do it. You can do it. You can do whatever you put your mind to, no matter what is going on in your past. So like with me, girl, I'm moving on. I'm leaving the negative back there. I'm being positive in my life. I'm staying focused in my life. And you can do the same thing. I have a motto that I use. And basically what I used to say was, when I was going through everything that I was going through, the turmoil and everything, I used to always say that I'm standing strong. And when I said that, and you can use this, or you can create your own motto, and basically I would say that I'm standing strong through no matter what I'm going through at this moment. That if I keep my faith and I keep God first, everything is going to be okay. I know sometimes we are in situations that we think that we cannot get out of. And God, what in the world is going on? What journey are you taking me to? What am I doing? But that season that you're in, you're going to get through it. The key is not quitting. The key is not giving up. Yes, it's going to get tough. Yes, it's going to get hard. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable for you. But the other side of that uncomfortable is greatness for you in your life. So I'm here today to say that you can do it. The vision that you have tucked in, you can do it. You can make it happen. Like I say, whatever you put your mind through, you can make it happen. You can get the degree. You can start the business. You can write the book. You can write 2 and 3 books. All I'm here today is to say you can do it. You can do it. You have everything within you to make it happen. So I want to say, continue to stand strong. Continue to love yourself. Continue to keep your vision alive and live by purpose. So I am Angela Denise, and I just want to say you are amazing. And God put everything in you that you need to create the greatness in you, to stand strong and move on and subtract everything that is not adding up to your purpose.
Do you have a strategy plan for your life? Is your plan outdated or collecting dust as life passes you by? It's time to stop winging it and contact Angela Denise, your certified life coach. Angela is waiting to help you develop a strategic life plan to get your life back on track. Be the best you can be with strategy. Contact Angela today at www.askangeladenise.com.
My heart has been moved. How about yours? Yes, 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 yes. The Worldwide Women Speakers Dream Team left us inspired to pack up the pain of the past and explore new opportunities. Let's do a quick review of what they shared with us today. Athena Blue reminded us to get our mindset straight. We can do this by reading, affirming, and writing out our goals and our plans to move. She concluded by saying, life is only as good as our mindset. Jessica Rowe encouraged us to let go, to refuse to be held hostage by fear and the pain of the past. Tomika Haynes said, guard your peace of mind. Nothing is worth your peace. If you want to move on, she said, get radical. Radical obedience. Do what God has called you to do. Do something you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. Venus Chandler reminded us that we're never alone. We were created for connection and community. While you're moving, invite your sister friends to move with you, to even go before you and pave the way. Never go alone, because we are created for community. Sharon Ann Marie said, here's to strong women, because we are strong women. Our keynote speaker, Angela Denise, said, stand strong. Continue to put one foot in front of the other. And always remember, you can do it. It's time to move. Decide today to be open to new experiences of greatness. Decide today to move on. Before you move, take a deep breath. Then pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. Even while you're packing, the past will give you a call. But when your past calls, let it go to voicemail. It has nothing new to say. And whatever you do, let today be the day that you learn the grace of letting go and the power of moving on. And when we finally decide to let go of the past and move on, there's always something better that comes along. Make the decision to let go. Things won't disappear on their own. Find the confidence you need to express your pain and your responsibility. As you prepare to move on, stop being a victim and stop blaming others. Focus on the present, the here and now. Experience joy. And don't forget to forgive others and forgive yourself. I am your host, R.J. Jackson, the Courage Giver, reminding you that you are the most valuable part of Worldwide Women Speakers. We are honored to be able to inspire your heart to take action and move on, subtracting everything that doesn't add up to your purpose. We invite you to connect with us today at worldwidewomenspeakers.com. Our dream team is standing by to continue to journey with you. Reach out and let us touch your heart.
Have the cares of this life seemingly choked the life out of you? Are you wanting or needing to start over after being hit hard in life? If so, R.J. Jackson, the Courage Giver, wants you to know that you are not alone and help is here. This is your season, and it's time for you to get up, get dressed, and show up. The good news is, you do not have to do it alone. Like you, R.J. Jackson knows what it's like to have been knocked down over and over again. And RJ believes that life is not about how many times we get knocked down, but how many times we get back up. Reach out to RJ today at 1-877-235-0307, extension 909. She is waiting to encourage your heart and help lift you up. Worldwide Women Speakers. We coach, speak, and train on purpose. Connect with us today at worldwidewomenspeakers.com.